Shalom, shalom, Israel. It's your brother Ananias, and I want to welcome you again to another Truth Hurt Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Representing for A.O.I, the Awakening of Israel. And tonight, like we do every Tuesday, we're gonna be breaking down some weekly current events, giving a biblical breakdown, and just letting our people know what's going on in the world. Because if you don't know what's going on, you're liable to keep making the same mistakes. So it's best that you understand and know what's going on at all times. The Bible commands us to do so. So we just gonna shed a little light on some things that's going on in the world, and hopefully you'll be edified and be more attentive to what's going on in your world or paying attention to what's going on. So to start off, we're gonna go to John chapter 8, verse 32. And it reads, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." That's all we offer. That's all we should be seeking for anyway on a daily basis is the truth. No longer should we be seeking lies from the enemy, nor should we want to be lied to, you know. We should always be seeking the truth at all times. So without further ado, we're going to get into some current events that have been going on in the world within the past week, you know. And one of the main things that's going on is, I don't know if many of you have paid attention or heard about it, but what's the guy, the basketball player, NBA star, Russell Westbrook, you know, for some odd reason, the brother felt it was necessary to put on a skirt and do it for some type of fashionable reasoning, you know, not understanding and knowing the true meaning or the what's the word I'm looking for? The I can't even think of the word I'm looking for, but the detriment that he's doing by doing so, just trying to get a couple of dollars. You know, our people, our celebrities, our leaders or role models or whatnot, they got to pay attention to the things that they do and realize the outcome, you know, and they can't just be chasing a dollar all the time. You got to realize the outcome of what you do, you know. This is an article where the brother Kwame Brown actually went in on the brother Westbrook, you know. I ain't trying to condemn the brother or nothing, but we hope that the brother repents. But for some odd reason here lately, he felt it was a need to put on a skirt, you know. As you can see, the brother wearing a skirt with sweaters and boots and whatnot, you know. This is some type of trend that's going on with the black celebrities, males especially. You know, it's not too hard for you to find our brothers wearing these type outfits, not knowing the repercussions that come behind it, the consequences. You know, you're celebrities, you're on the TV, children inspire to be like you. So when you dress like this, are you not thinking about the repercussions? Knowing and understanding that the generations coming up after you, they model after what they see you doing. And you being on the TV all the time, you putting on skirts, what are you trying to prove? You know, we got to be mindful of these things. You know, so I'm gonna play a little video clip by the brother Kwame Brown, and you know, excuse the language, but the brother got to bring his point home. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
Players for when they ran by white boys anyway, and I can speak about it, nigga. Cause when I played, I had to shut my mouth too. There's two ways you can go, nigga. You bite the apple and wear them motherfucking dresses like Russell Westbrook or whatever the fuck his name is. I don't even want to say this nigga name no more. But this ain't this nigga first time in a dress. So I don't know why people so alarmed. This nigga been wearing dresses and weird ass shit. But see, like I told you, LBJ said, your leaders, they'll give them to you. And just because this nigga can jump high and play basketball, not nary nigga, not no geeky nigga, not no nigga I ever was raised up with, gonna be walking around the goddamn streets with a dress on and some motherfucking boots and get my respect and say he heterosexual. Now, if you gay, cool, my cousin gay. I don't give a fuck. I got gay girl, female cousins, Male cousins, it don't matter about that. But when you say you a heterosexual male and that's what you do, nigga, fuck you. And that's my opinion, nigga. So if you wanted my opinion on that, I think these niggas is exposing exactly what I said. These bitch ass celebrities bite that motherfucking apple. And I never bit no apple. I just shut my mouth.
You see that? The brother had a valid point. But, you know, I don't condone what he's talking about. You know, he got a valid point, but when he say things like, if you gay, that's cool, that's on you, you know, do what you do. Nah, we can't accept that either. You in the same realm when you say that, you know. Now, if a man trying to say he a man and he run around putting on dresses and skirts, I don't condone that either. The Lord is against that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let's get that in Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. It says, "Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination." So Kwame talking about you got cousins that's gay, cousin female, male and female that's gay, and he cool with that. Do what you do. Nah, I ain't cool with that. The Lord ain't cool with that. That's gonna get our people killed. You know, that's sinning. That's breaking God's law. The Lord said we ain't supposed to lay down with another man like we lay down with a woman. We do so, that's sin. What's the wages of sin? Death. Romans 6 and 23. You know, that's death. But, you know, the Lord ain't with the cross dressing as well. Let's go to Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. And it reads, "The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God." So what is that saying? Men ain't supposed to be putting on those skirts and dresses, just like the woman ain't supposed to be putting on no pants. But we talking about Russell Westbrook and countless other black celebrities putting on dresses and skirts. Think about these things. We're not supposed to be doing these things. But these are the things that are happening on a regular basis, happening to our people, influencing the younger generation coming up to want to do what? Put on dresses and skirts. We can't be dealing with that, man. That's wickedness. All manner of wickedness. But the brother Kwame Brown went in, he said his piece. I agree with him to a certain extent. You can't be saying that you are a heterosexual male and you putting on dresses and skirts. So Westbrook, repent, my brother. Come back to who you truly are. Stop selling out for a damn dollar. You know, realize it's more at stake than just you getting money. You know, same thing for Wade, Dwayne Wade, and these other brothers and sisters out doing all manner of wickedness. There's more at stake than just getting a dollar. You know, realize what's going on. But for now, let's go to some other current events that's going on. I mean, you know, we all heard about what Biden was talking about the other day, you know, as far as trying to step it up with the vaccination thing, the jab or whatnot, you know. But let's see what he's actually doing to his own troops, you know. This is a headline in End Time Headlines, and it says U.S. Army warns those who refuse COVID-19 vaccine could be subject to being relieved of duty and discharged. So you joining the army trying to make a living, trying to make something better out of yourself, which I strongly disagree with. You know, it said the U.S. Army announced Tuesday a COVID-19 vaccine mandate for soldiers was being implemented and warned that members who refuse could be subject to relief of duties or discharge. Think about that. They're going to give you a dishonorable discharge because you don't want to get the shot. But you done went through all the various rigors trying to join the service, signed on the dotted line. You already signed your life away. Now they're going to charge you with something just because you don't want to get the shot. Think about that. That's what happened when you join the enemy's army instead of joining in the Lord's army. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You're supposed to be joining in the Lord's army. Since he is your God, he is only the God of the Israelites, the nation of Israel. You need to open that Bible and read it. You know, Revelation 1 and 3, once again, blessed is he that readeth. You got to open it up and read and realize who you are. Realize you don't have to join their service. You know, that's an outlet. That's an option. Just like having an abortion. That's an option. It's not required. It's an option. But it's an option that the Lord said don't do. If anything, you need to be standing tall and fighting for the Lord. Stand up for the Lord. Stop trying to do all this and that for $1. It's more than one way to skin a cat. I know we all have heard that phrase before. It's a new day and age. You don't have to do so. Join his army, especially when you know it's nothing but wickedness. But it says, reported that the Army began implementing the Secretary of Defense order last month following full approval of Pfizer's 2-dose shot by the Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA. Before then, COVID-19 vaccines had been optional. See, it had been optional, just like it is for the civilian life, but now it's mandated. Active duty units are now expected to be fully vaccinated by December 15, 2021. And the Reserve and National Guard units are expected to be fully vaccinated by June 30th of 2022. Soldiers may request administrative or medical exemptions. They're giving you a way out, but they're saying you got to get it at the same time. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? My thing or my idea or my advice to you is to trust in the Lord. That's what the Lord said. Matter of fact, let me get that for you. As an Israelite man, woman, and child, you need to be trusting in the Lord. That's your protection. It's not joining the army. The army is not going to protect you. This is Sirach chapter 33, verse 1. Therefore shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord. How do you fear the Lord? By keeping his commandments, because you don't know what his judgment might be. So you keep his commandments. It says, therefore shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord. But in temptation, even again, he will deliver him. So your best bet is to be trusting in the Lord, keeping his commandments. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? Because even with taking that shot, it could be something else lurking around the corner and threatening to take you out. It ain't just COVID that you need to be worrying about. And it ain't $1 that you need to be focusing on. You need to be trusting in the Lord. Because death is around the corner at any given time. Excuse what I'm saying. It's around the corner at all times. You know, you trying to prevent COVID, but what about the drunk driver or the person texting on their phone while you riding down the highway? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more to consider than just COVID. That's why the Lord said, fear him, keep the commandments. That's what we need to be focused on the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But for now, we're going to go to another article, basically dealing with a Florida woman. I put it that way. Kind of a crazy story, but we'll bring it out anyway. It's a Florida woman that was shot and killed by a toddler, by her own child. Shot and killed by her own child. Think about that. Because we so caught up in the telephones, the tablets, and the TV, and trying to be trying to be safe by having guns all throughout the house. This person, let me read it. A person on a conference call. So this girl was on a conference call, a Zoom call, who witnessed the incident, dialed 911. She apparently heard a noise and saw Lynn fall backwards after a child appeared in the background. She says, I don't know where to begin, but I'm on live with a company. We just got hired and one of the girls just passed out. She's bleeding, the co-worker said in a 911 call, according to ABC News. A man who identified himself as Lynn's boyfriend and the father of her 2 children also called 911 when he came home and found her unconscious and bleeding. Responding officers and paramedics tried to treat her, but she was pronounced dead at the scene due to her injuries. According to the police, a toddler found an unsecured handgun that was left in the apartment. Lynn's boyfriend was handcuffed and questioned as he was the owner of the gun that killed the young mother. we do have a responsibility as adults to keep people safe, especially when you own a firearm. Sergeant Rob Ruiz of the El Monte Springs Police Department said in a statement, detectives are working with the Seminole County State Attorney's Office to determine if any charges should be filed against the owner of the gun. So here this is a young female. She don't even look like she's 21, but got 2 kids, and she online on a Zoom call, and one of the toddlers then picked up the gun and shot her with it. How crazy is that? How crazy is it for you to have a damn gun laying around the house where a child can grab it, playing with it, and shoot you in the back of the head? Come on now. We got to wake up, people. We trying to be safe, so to speak. Don't even know what the hell going on or what to do with the weapons that we got. And the father just got the gun just laying around anywhere. Now the mother of the kid gone and he locked up. Where you think the kids at? They in the system. This is the foolishness that we go through here in Babylon the Great. Foolishness. We gotta do better, Israel. Gotta do better. Let's go on to another article. Dealing with this brother out here in California, what his name, Larry Elder. I usually don't even deal with the politics, but when I heard this video, I had to speak on it. Let's bring it out.
Black conservative Larry Elder is now making a case for slave owners to have reparations while still dismissing descendants of the enslaved having reparations. Here it is.
Right behind
By the way, when you mentioned that the UK was ahead of us, they were. Do you know that the slave owners were compensated? After they lost their quote-unquote property, the government compensated slave owners.
I didn't know.
And so when people talk about reparations, they really want to have that conversation because, like it or not, slavery was legal. And so their property, their legal property was taken away from them after the Civil War. So you can make an argument that the people that are owed reparations, not only just black people, but also the people whose whole property was taken away after the end of the Civil War.
Yeah, you ignorant SOB. I'm willing to have that conversation. Larry Elder is running for governor of California, by the way. So let's have that conversation, Larry. And by the way, stop ignoring my people who have been trying to get you on this program for a very long time. You continue to ignore. If you believe in your policies, bring your happy ass up into the bullpen and let's debate. Period. Okay? Run tell that. Now, let me go ahead and dissect where Larry Elder is 100% completely ignorant of what he says. So Larry thinks that people were property. I don't care what law you deem, what statute you are behind, or what constitution you believe in. People are people, not property. Period. Okay? Now, the argument of reparations is about repair. This country is for reparations. The United States of America is for reparations. We have given reparations to the Japanese, to Native Americans. We have given reparations to many that have been involved in experimentation against their will, without their knowledge. Reparations is something that this government has enacted not only on the federal level, but also state and other local governments. That is the truth. Do the homework. Here's the other thing, Larry. While Larry is talking about the UK, you don't have to go to the UK to find that slave owners actually receive reparations. You can start right here in the good old United States of America. The irony is unreal. Before I go to that, let me give you context to this conversation. Larry Elder, 69 years of age, sat down with Candace Owens. Candace Owens is still the number one black white supremacist. Larry Elder has not knocked her off that number one spot yet. A conservative talk show host and author to share his views on the current state of race relations and why the black community, as he said, plays the victim card as supported by Insider. During the conversation, Elder and Owens, who are both, as you can tell, black, touch on the topics of reparations. Elder, however, argued that enslaved individuals were legally deemed property at the time. He noted that slave owners and their estates are owed compensation for the human property they lost following the end of the Civil War and the passage of the 13th Amendment, which partially abolished slavery after 1865. Now, let me take you back to the 13th Amendment. Because slavery was not abolished by the 13th Amendment. As a matter of fact, slavery is still legal in the United States of America. Let's go to the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment, ratified in 1865, essentially abolished slavery. However, it also made it legal to exploit people as a punishment for crime. Here's the wording of the Constitution. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime. That means that slavery is legal if it is utilized under the pretext as a punishment for criminal activity.
So the brother letting us know one thing. We still in captivity to this day. The Bible tell you that. Baruch chapter 3 verse 8. And it reads, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. So even though America say this the land of the free, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are captive. You are still slaves. If you punching in the clock to make somebody else rich, you still a slave. If you need permission from your enemy to drive down the street, you're still a slave. If you need permission to leave this country from your enemy, you still a slave. If you got to go to your enemy and want of all things, guess what? You are still a slave. You're not free. You won't be free until Christ cracked that sky. You need to understand that. And because of your disobedience, your unwillingness to listen to the Lord, that's why you're in captivity. That's why we are in captivity. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Israelites. Understand that. Matter of fact, let me go to Lamentations chapter 2, verse 14. It says, thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquities to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment. Our leaders, these are the prophets, or they're the ones who are in charge, the pastors, the preachers. They see what's going on and they ain't speaking on it. They seeing that they passing laws to say that a man can lay with a man, or man can marry man, woman can lay with a woman. You can be a transgender, you can be whatever you want to be. You know, they ain't saying nothing about it. They saying God love everybody. Come as you are. That's foolishness. You ain't speaking up. You ain't telling the people that they're going off. And that's why we continue to go down the same path, where you got a brother like Larry Elder on here speaking up for the damn slave owners, talking about they the one deserve, or they the ones getting reparations. Foolishness. Why are we even having this conversation? Think about that. The same guy that's trying to run for their political platform, trying to become a governor of California, to do what? Continue on with their system. You might get that position because somebody voted you in, but you still got to do what? Play the role in their position, in their system, in their game. It don't matter what color you are to sit in that seat. You still got to continue their system. Think about that. We simple as hell. The Bible tell you don't envy the oppressor. Matter of fact, let's get that. Proverbs 3 and 31. Proverbs 3 and 31. And it reads, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. So we shouldn't be trying to shave our beards off and put on a suit so we can be a politician. No, we need to be trying to be who we were created to be. Holy, separate, different, special. A child of the Most High God. Walking in his ways, keeping his commandments. That's what we need to be focusing on. Not chasing behind dead presidents of our oppressors, trying to get there, killing each other over there, selling each other out for that, locking each other up, downgrading each other. destroying our community for a piece of paper that got the oppressor on it. We simple as hell. The Lord told us, envy not the oppressor. Why should we want to be like them? All the things they done did to us throughout the past, throughout history. Why do we want to live like them? Think about that. Silliness. Foolish as hell. But you got a brother on here talking about the damn slave owner should get reparations versus the slave. Come on now. They got what they wanted. They still getting it. But now time is he trying to build up his own community. Foolishness. But we're going to go on to another article and see what else is on or what else is going on in the world. Let's go and deal with the other nations right quick. You know?
The story. There's a guy that the police are so afraid of that when they caught him, they let him go. I'm not kidding you. Let me take you to this place in Vermont. Cops pull over a white suspect, put up his picture. They pulled over a white suspect who was under investigation for a hate crime, but allowed him to drive away because they were afraid of him. His name is Matthew Cagle. Police in Burlington, Vermont are searching for a 33-year-old Matthew Cagle who was wanted for assaulting a traffic guard and evading police. He was stopped shortly after the assault, but was allowed to drive away without ever getting out of his car. Put up his picture again. Okay? Now, the good old people at Burlington, Vermont PD, they did not provide pictures of the cops who were afraid to engage this white male. They didn't provide any pictures. We don't have any. But I do have the picture of the acting police chief. Let's put his picture up. That's your police chief currently. His name is John Murad. Now, here's what I'm going to do, Chief Murad. Anytime I do these stories and you all fail to produce the officers who are involved, I will put whoever is in charge up on my screen. That's how we're going to do this. You want to play that game? I got a game for you. All right? Let me give you background to this story. According to the report, Cagle refused to exit his vehicle. Now, when black people do that, what happens? So this guy refused to exit his vehicle after being told multiple times, you're under arrest. Now, this was not an investigation. They were literally pulling him over to lock him up, okay? They were trying to find out if something was going on. He was under arrest, according to the cops. They pull him over, tell him he's under arrest. This is on the police report. Officers did not pursue Cagle, once again on the police report. Why? Due to his unpredictable and violent history. On the police report, Cagle has a long history of encounters with police. He has a number of convictions, including felony charges and multiple offenses for violating court orders or parole.
Wow. Man got a rap sheet a mile long. They don't even tell him to get out the car. Didn't even tell him to get out the car. But let it been one of us. We got the hands out the window, everything. They drop kicking us in the back, putting a knee on our necks. They shooting us point blank range. And this is one of their own. Pulled the man over. Know his record. And still did nothing. Let's see what the scripts say about that. Let's go to Matthew chapter 12, verse 26. And it reads, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? We already know who they are. They'll tell you who they are. Some of us just don't want to believe that. But the Bible calls him the devil, Satan. So when you see these things happen on a constant basis, that should alert you or let you know that the Bible is a true book, because they're not going to cast each other out. You know, it just said that the man pulled over, he got a rap sheet a mile long. Say a dangerous man. They didn't even force him to get out the car. They let him go. He drove off. And they went to the police station and filed a report and said he drove off. You can't make this up. I mean, just look within the past couple of months over all the crazy events involving their own people and how the police treat them. Just look back at the Colorado shooting that just happened not too long ago. The man actually went into the grocery store and shot up 10 people and killed an officer. 10 people dead, including the officer. And then he was shooting at the police officer in the parking lot. They helped that man to the ambulance. They shot him in the leg one time and walked him to the ambulance. How many of our brothers and sisters have been shot and gunned down and didn't have a weapon on them at all? Think about these things. If Satan cast out Satan, how can his kingdom stand? Think about that. We need to consider these things when going forward and when we going to and fro in the world every day. We need to understand what's really going on. Job 9:24 said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Satan. He the one ruling everything right now. Why? Because we as Israelites are out of order. Matter of fact, I get that in Psalms 82. Bear with me. Let me get to it. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 82, verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course, meaning they out of order. Why? Because we are out of order. Israelite man, woman, and child, we out of order. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We don't keep God's commandments. These things will continue to happen. He chose the base man to rule over us because of our disobedience. And this is why the things happen the way they happen to this day. It won't change until we change. We need to understand that. You know, matter of fact, let's go to Deuteronomy 12 and 10. I mean, 10 and 12. Deuteronomy 10 and 12. And it says, and now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee? So it's something that he requires from us. This world is out of order. He requiring something from us. It's out of order for a reason. Just told you, for our disobedience. But it says, and now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. It's a simple answer. You wonder why your families are broken, your neighborhoods are broken, your spirit is broken, why you struggle to make ends meet. It's a reason for everything. It's no coincidence. It's not luck. It's, what do they call it? Karma? Nah. This is the doing of the Most High God and his marvelous works, letting you know that he is your Father, your God, and what he speaks is true. So you need to open this book and read and find out who you truly are and what's required of you. I just read it to you to keep his commandments. You know, we need to understand what's going on, because the world is crazy and these other nations, they letting you know on a constant. I'm going to get you one more article and I'm going to close it out. One more right quick. Something that we all hear all the time. But we're going to see what's going on in this one.
Y'all know what time it is.
Bro, let's talk about their lives. Why? I got you. Legally starting Twitter with that. my property.
Well, let's go to Georgia, where parents are calling for a teacher there to be fired after she says the N-word in a viral video. Watch this.
I'll say I hate a black guy. Then I can say
I missed that. Play it again.
I'll say I hate a black guy. Then I can say
Alexandra Boynton, an Alcovey High School art teacher, sitting on the desk discussing when it's okay to use the N-word. 2 years ago, Boynton was named Teacher of the Year. Now students and parents are calling for her job. The art instructor is currently on administrative leave. She says in the video that if she starts dating a black guy, she can say nigga. Really?
Yo, homegirl was just, you can tell this is part of her daily vocabulary because she was just all too comfortable, just the way she just put it out there like that. And so, look, people have all of these debates and conversations. I was just talking about it at my students at American Today in class. People can have honest conversations about it in the classroom. And I believe that teachers who are mindful and sensitive to the conversation of all backgrounds can spearhead that type of conversation. But this woman, she was sitting there acting like she was just all world, all too cool. Well, and I'm glad that those students responded, hell no, because really at the end of the day, they think that the students are going to be like, oh, you cool, I'm with that. And they're like, hell no. And I'm glad the video went out. I'm glad the parents are calling for it because we need to have real conversations about the usage of this term throughout. But this type of nonsense from an educator trying to be down, she needs to be down and out.
Kelly, yeah, she was a little comfortable there.
She tried it. I mean, there's not much to say here other than the fact that she was wrong and that she tried it, and she was still wrong when she tried it. At no point should you even, any profanity in the school should be, banned. I don't know how schools are set up, but when I was in school, profanity in any regard was prohibited by students and especially teachers. So the fact that she was a faculty member at this school and still said it, regardless of what the word is, I'm just trying to get to the basics for the moment. The fact that she used profanity in school towards students in reference to herself in a personal manner, which also should not be talked about on school grounds. There's just levels of inappropriateness here that needs to be addressed. And we're notwithstanding. Again, she was way too comfortable with that word, but just from an administrative perspective and just getting to the point, she was wrong just from being a faculty member. And I don't know whether it was because she was an art teacher and she thought, she has license because it's more creative space and more liberal. But again, you tried it and you failed. And as far as administrative leave, she needs to go because it was just unprofessional to do that at all.
Just one moment.
Hey, it is what it is, man. This is a direct result of us not taking things seriously, not knowing who you are and accepting any and everything that the heathen say, taking it for face value. Had no respect. I mean, just knowing the fact that she felt that comfortable to say that in the classroom amongst us, our people, shows you the level of respect that she had for the students or that the students have for her. She felt comfortable enough to say that with no fear. And that's how it is here in Babylon the Great. We done been dumbed down so much or to the point where the damn enemy feel they can do whatever, whenever. And we just accept whatever they say and whatever comes our way. Because we sleep, dumb down, accepting our role at the bottom of society. Not willing to make change, not willing to understand and build each other. We rather chase the foolishness that we see on TV, the madness and the folly. These are the things that happen and continue to go on a daily basis throughout the world. And they continue to happen. And all we do as a people is just shake our heads, give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and continue to move on in folly and madness. Constantly, day in and day out. When we gonna change, Israel? What is it going to take? I mean, they done did damn near everything it is to do. What is it going to take for you to wake up? Serious question. But that's the reason why we do these classes, do these videos, these live streams, to hopefully edify and wake our people up and get them thinking about what's going on in this world. So hopefully tonight you learn something. Hopefully you change your mindset about some things. Hopefully you had these conversations with your family and your friends and change your outlook on life, you know. But at the end of the day, we got to give all praise and honor and glory to the Most High God for allowing us to be here tonight. You know, hopefully you learn something, and going forward, pick up the Bible and read it. Start keeping these commandments. Come back to who you are and do what's required of you so that we can get out this hellhole, so we can make change the future. And on that note, I'm your brother Ananias, and I say shalom.